Good afternoon, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I also want to give all praises to the earthly mother, the Holy Spirit. I pray that they bless this lesson today and give us a deeper understanding of the things that are coming upon the earth and the changes that are coming upon the earth and all the nations. This is a pretty amazing time right now. I've been getting kind of ready the last couple days to make another video. And right before I get ready to start this new video, there's a huge news report about how the Iranians just attack the land of Israel, which is then going to just set off a whole explosion in that land right there. And it's kind of crazy because the information I'm going to talk about today goes exactly with that. So it's kind of like the Most High was already preparing me a couple days ago to kind of get into this topic a little bit. And then right when I get ready to do the video, this huge event just jumps off. And we're getting up to, well, yesterday, Trump got out of the Iranian nuclear agreement. And then the 70th year of the Israelis being over there in that land is, I think, May 14th, next Monday. And it's just confirming the times that we are in. We are coming into the times of where the Most High is about to put one kingdom down and replace him with another. He's been, there's actually, we're going to get into some scriptures today, and it talks about, just the timeline of how everything has to be. And now, and where we're at, and the times that we're in right now. And it's just absolutely amazing to see what is going on right now. So, when a lot of people think that, the Most High is on one end and then the devil's on the other end, the Most High is in control of absolutely everything. He allows the other nations and Esau to have their time of reigning and controlling the earth, and that is now coming to an end. And the Bible will show you that. And he's going to replace them with his people. They're going to have their time now. And that's what the world is moving into right now. So what I want to read first is Psalms. Let me get that really fast. Psalms, let me find here, 75. So chapter 75, verses 6 through 10. For the promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out, and drink them. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the Most High of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. And that's what we're moving into right now, brethren. It's been a long time coming. Our people have been at the bottom for such a long time. We don't really know what it's like, what it's going to be like to be on top. But we had to go through this purging, in order to be able to understand and appreciate when we're actually restored. It was the Most High's will that we were going to be in this low state for a certain amount of time, and no matter what we did, we had to serve out our punishment. And for the other people to seem to think that they're not going to be punished for the things that their ancestors did is pretty naive. Now, when I want to read something else here, let's go into Wisdom of Solomon. Let me get that book really quick here. Been studying quite a bit here the last few days. Have so much information. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all in this video, but we'll do the best we can. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 1. Okay, this is kind of like letting the kings of this earth know why the things that are coming on the earth are coming. Okay, why their punishment is coming. This is letting them know why that is going on. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 1. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest? Who shall try your works and search out your counsels? Because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. And that sharp judgment, brethren, is starting now. You can already tell, when you're looking at the economy and how bad things are, and the fact that the nation is now at $21 trillion in debt and there's no way to get out of it. You saw petro yuan, it actually came into being last month. And so, you got Iranians actually leaving ditching the dollar. You got the Russians ditching the dollar. You got the Chinese ditching the dollar. You got other countries that aren't using the dollar. So, then anytime a nation does that, that's what the United States goes to war. And it's no coincidence that, they've been setting up for a war with Iran, for the longest. And it's biblical. That was going to happen. So there's nothing that we can do to stop that. That's just what the Most High has set up. Okay. And a lot of people still are talking about wanting peace and this like that. Like, there's never been peace, and there's not going to be any. Okay. But what's going on right now is it's all setting up for a transition of power. And we're going to actually read that out of my one of my older Bibles here, if I can find it here. Now I don't think this is it. And yes, this is it right here. This is the book of Baruch, okay, from the Apocrypha. We're going to read chapter 2. We'll start at verse 30. But if you look to the right, you can see the precepts that are actually already there. So I made copies in case you guys wanted to take a look at some of those. Okay, but if you look, we'll start at 30. But if you look at 29, if you will not hear my voice, surely this great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. So, this is talking about the Hebrews, not, so they're going to be scattered, and they're going to be turned to a small number. And if you read that Deuteronomy 28 and 15, let's go there real quick. See what that has to do with here. It has to do with the curses. Okay, this is already talking about this is what's going to happen right here with these curses. They're going to be put on us. I'll read Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And that's exactly what happened. So, we had our time period where these curses were going to be on us. Okay, and they're still on us even till today. But the Most High is going to be the one who take them off of us. Okay, and we're coming into that time. Okay, so we know we've been scattered into the different nations, treated horribly, killed, raped, robbed, murdered, had our knowledge of our, who we are taken away. And that's why you have to fit our people have to, the true people have to fit certain criteria. And that's what this is talking about right here. Okay, now let's continue reading a little bit more here in 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. That is a huge prophecy right there. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. So you had to forget who you were. That was part of the prophecies as well. Okay, and you had to go through slavery. Okay, and you had, there's all these other curses that were going to happen to us. And it's been happening to us for, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay, but now that's coming to an end. Okay, this is a huge prophecy. And this just shows you that what's going on over there in the Middle East at this time, isn't necessarily fulfilling the whole prophecy that the Most High has set up. Okay. From what I can tell from what I've studied is that land is going to be utterly destroyed. The land is over there in Israel right now. That's going to be destroyed. Okay, and we'll get into some scripture that kind of talks about that. But that's all part of prophecy and part of the plan the Most High has set up. All right. Oops, let's go back over here. Now, So, of course, back to 30, in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. Let's go to 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear. So the Most High is going to be claiming his people, and then we're going to learn who their real power is. Our real power is not Jesus, it's not Caesarea, it's not Sunday worship, it's not Christmas, it's not Easter, it's none of those things. Okay? Our power, right, is the power of our people. Okay? And he has certain things that we're supposed to do. We didn't do it, so therefore, we got the punishment. Now he's bringing us back into knowledge and understanding of who we are. Our power loves us, and just like if you're a parent, and sometimes when your kids go off, you have to punish them. Same thing here. We went off, and the Most High had to punish us. And the other nations, the same thing's coming for you. If you haven't been, given knowledge and understanding in order to be saved, then how can you be saved? If you're still believing in, all these, fake gods and fake deities, and you're practicing all these fake holidays, then how do you expect to be saved? So this doesn't make any sense. If you don't acknowledge who the real people of the Most High are, there are going to be some, and I've already showed in some other videos, that the Most High has some of the Gentiles that are, set up to be saved, but they're going and talks about, but they're not going to be getting the same things that the Hebrews get, that his chosen seed gets. That's not what I'm saying, and that's not what the scriptures say. But I'm going to continue with what the scriptures say right now, though. Okay, let's go to 31. Actually, let's go to 32. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. Okay, let's read that real quick with that precept in Malachi. Let me get there real quick. Malachi 3 and 16. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. So the Most High already has the names written of the people that he is going to save. And those are the ones that he's waking up. That's why, when we came into this truth, we're like, well, why do I get it and other people can't get it? Because the Most High only wrote down certain names. And if your name is not written, he's not calling you. But if your name is written, he's not going to lose a one. So anyone that he's calling, those are the ones that he's already chosen to save. Okay, and that's what's been happening here in the lands of our captivities. See, that's why he has to follow a certain criteria. You have to be scattered, you have to lose your identity. Most High has to call you back and give you remembrance in the land of your captivities. Okay, then he's going to give you a heart and ears to hear, to understand, and get knowledge and understanding. And then we're going to praise our power in the land of our captivity. So see, all this is all happening in another land. It's not happening in the land of Israel. This is happening where we were scattered first. All these things had to happen where we were scattered first. After we remember ourselves, the Most High gives us our ears and a heart to understand and hear. Then we praise him in the land of our captivity. Okay? Then let's see what happens next. Okay, 33. And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord. So we have to remember the ways of our fathers who sinned before the Lord. And those were Israelites, the chosen seed, the chosen line that were sinning, before the Lord. So it has to be his children in the land of their captivities that have forgotten themselves are the ones that are called back. So again, it's dealing with a specific group of people. Okay? Now, 34. This is huge. And I will bring them again into the land, which I promised, with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. This is huge, especially that part about not being diminished and him bringing them back again into the land, which I promised with an oath unto their fathers. Now, if the people who are there don't fit this criteria, then therefore they can't be the ones that the Most High was talking about taking into the land in the first place. So therefore, it seems like he's going to destroy that land and destroy the people and make it a wasteland. And we'll get into that a little bit when we talk about Ezekiel. We'll go into Ezekiel 38 and the Gog and Magog. We hear about the Gog and Magog war. I was cracking up sometime. I was listening to some Christian person who was talking about the Psalms 83 war. It's like they just no understanding, because you're trying to make a people fit that it's not talking about. Okay, we're going to go into a little bit more of Ezekiel 38 shortly. Oops, let me go here. Let me finish reading 35. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. Now this is the new covenant that the Most High is going to establish in the future after he takes his people back into the land. Okay, it's not talking about what Paul after Jesus died, and it's a new covenant for the whole world. I've had quite a few conversations with quite a few people, and they keep on talking about the new covenant. And I said, well, where does it say that the new covenant is for everybody? And I had a guy who was telling me, well, I'm going to get to you on that. I'll get back to you on that. Well, needless to say, he never got back to me on any of that. I'll sometimes see him and he just kind of looks away, or doesn't want to talk, doesn't really want to speak. But he won't, and I'm like, well, I told him this is it's not what you're thinking. I said, and it doesn't say that, so they always give me their Christian speak and everything else. I'm like, show me where it says that. And it's not in there. I said, I can tell you, you're not going to find it because it's not in there. So let me go with Jeremiah 32 and 40. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Okay? And then Hebrews 8 and 13, let's read that right there too. Hebrews chapter 8, verse 13. And that he saith, a new covenant he hath made, the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. So when you read that, I hear Christians always trying to talk about the new covenant and how the old covenant's not good anymore and this, and that. Well, it's referring back to Baruch here. It's not so you can just make up whatever you want to make up. And you're going to see that he's going to fulfill all the things that's just written right here. He's going to fulfill it. He already started with the first part. He already woke us up in the land of our captivity. He already gave us the heart and ears to hear. He's always given us the way to praise him in the land of their captivity and think upon his name. So he's already been fulfilling those things. So then what's next? The next thing that's going to has to be done is, and I'm going to bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers. That's next. But if there's fake people that are over there right now, he's going to clean that up first. And then all of a sudden today you start seeing attacks and everything else. So it looks like he's about to start cleaning house right now. Looks like the house cleaning is beginning right now. He's preparing the way for his people, his true people, to be taken back to the land. The other nations have had their time. On Monday, I think the 14th, the Israelis have had 70 years in our area, in our land. And it looks like I said, house cleaning has begun. So let's go ahead and continue. Now I want to look at a little bit of Ezekiel 38. Let me see here. Let me find it real quick. Ezekiel, I think it's it right here. Chapter 38. Let me get it on my phone as well so I can read it both. Make sure I'm on the right thing here. Because I was kind of talking to a couple of my brethren about doing a little study on Gog and Magog and kind of looking at some of the precepts here. And then all of a sudden, like I said, these things just started jumping off. Okay, let's look at 9. Okay, I took some pictures here so you can look at the precepts that are already written in here. So you can look at them up yourselves as well. But we got thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Thus saith the Lord God, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Okay, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited. Okay, I think that's a huge part right there, where it talks about desolate places that are now inhabited. So let's see. That would kind of makes it sound like maybe that land could possibly be nuked, and it'd be desolate and no one could live there. And you would need someone like the Most High that can make those desolate places inhabitable again. I'm just kind of a little conjecture here. We're not sure exactly how this is going to go down. We know the Most High is going to fulfill his plan. We all don't know exactly how that plan is going to work out, but that is a very viable option. That land is going to be utterly destroyed. Maybe something, like I said, a nuclear weapon going off would make that land desolate, and then we need like pretty much a miracle to make that land inhabitable again. But what's in huge there is that the land, okay, the people there are supposed to be dwelling in safety. Okay, the Israelis have never been dwelling in safety there. In fact, when they went there, the president of Egypt said that they'll never have peace. Okay, because they left black and came back white, so they never had experienced peace. So if you look at that 11 there, I will go to them that are at rest, that will dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. So when the real people are in there, they're going to live safety. It's going to be beautiful because they're going to be protected by the Most High, by the real Most High and his angels. Okay, the angels play a vital role, because I was reading, I want to say, in Apocalypse of Elijah. I did a video on that. I'll try to put it in the description box, that talked about how the angels are going to go and gather the people from the four corners and take them back into the land. Okay, I didn't want to kind of get into that again because I already made a video on it. If I can find it, I'll put it back into the description box, which one it is, and you guys can check out that video as well. Okay, but when the real people are back in the land, they're going to be dwelling safely. And then the rest of the people are going to see that, and they're going to be drawn in to attack them. Okay, but if these people, like I said, the people that are there don't fit the fact that they were in the land of their captivities, they forgot themselves, they had to be remembered, they had to remember all these things in the land of captivities, remember their father. None of that stuff happened to them. That's the stuff that happened to the real people of the Most High. And like I said, the next thing up is them going back into the land. Okay, I read other books, and that's what the other books have said about how the angels, it's going to be a supernatural phenomenon. People are going to know. It's not going to be something that's written on a piece of paper and they just go and do it. That's not how it's going to work. Okay, and that's why it's really hard to interpret the Bible when you got other people who are trying to break the Bible down for you. They're trying to make it fit another people that doesn't fit. So I got this picture here: rule of war. When the enemy controls information, they will always manipulate it to benefit themselves. And that's how it is. When people just manipulate, the information, try to manipulate prophecy, to benefit themselves, to put themselves up high. I said, and it's not going to work like that. Okay. Let's go back here. Is that one? I'm skipping around here a little bit, but that's all right. All right. Let's continue with 12. To take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. Okay? So that's what they're going to be thinking about doing right now. Okay? Let's see here. And it's talking about the other people coming back and trying to attack and everything else and what's going to happen. But I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that. All right? And let's see here. So hopefully you guys understand now that there are certain prerequisites that the people have to meet in order to be, back into the land. And in this Gog and Magog war that's actually talking about in the Bible, is if the people aren't even in the land, then that can't even be an option. Okay, they have to be in the land, dwelling safely, after they've gone through all these different things and be gathered from all four corners. That's what's going on. And that's why it's so important that, you have to make sure that you're blessed with, to know, to find the Most High leads you to someone that He's dealing with, that's giving you knowledge and understanding, and using the scriptures, all the scriptures, not just a couple scriptures here, and then just pontificating a whole bunch of information that's just their opinion. That's what you hear. Like, they'll read one verse and then give you a whole bunch of their opinions. And I don't need opinions from, Gentiles anyways, because the books were not given to them. And there's something I wanted to read here from Baruch. Let me get it really quick. The book of Baruch, chapter. That's weird. Let me see if I have my book out here. Nope, I don't have it. Well, I don't have it on me, so I really can't read it. Oh, Baruch 5. Let me see if it's here. Nope. I'll have to read it the next time. It's pretty much talking about Baruch. I think I want to say Baruch 6:44. I want to say it's whatsoever is done among them is false. Okay, and it talks about when war or plagues come, they consult with themselves. Okay, and then they go and hide. If you want to read that on your own, read Baruch. I'm going to say chapter 6, verses 44 through 49, and it's talking about like them and their other gods, and how their gods aren't really powerful. And anytime there's a war or a plague, the people who worship these other gods always want to go and hide somewhere. They want to go and hide um, wherever they can, but their power cannot save them. But our power, has put us in the midst of the people, that have always hated us. And the only way that we've actually been protected is through the Most High. It said, because we don't have any weapons, we don't have any way of protecting ourselves. The only thing that we're blessed that we have the angels that protect us. And what I do want to read though is, let me go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verses 10. Let's see, 10 and 11. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. So right there it talks about how He's going to bring them out of these lands with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. Okay, so He's going to be bringing us out. Okay, and then it says, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Now it's like during the time of Egypt, his chosen seed was in the land of Goshen, and the land of Goshen was always protected, and Egypt was being destroyed with plagues. And that's what's about to happen again. It looks like He's going to be taking His people after He destroys the people that are there. He's going to be taking His people back into the land, protecting them there, protecting His people there, while all this chaos is going around worldwide. And right now, you should see, why. Now it's more understanding as to why He's been waking up some people, in order to get them ready for what is to come. Okay. Now, I'm going to end up with the last couple things here. Let me see here. This is Luke chapter 24. What I'm going to look at. But if you look to the right, you see all those precepts. And a lot of the Bibles today, you don't get these precepts. Wasn't the best copy here of the picture, but best we could do. Well, we try to get as much as we possibly could for you guys, so you guys can actually do some more research on your own and look at the precepts on the side. And I was talking to someone, and I was telling them about some lady invited me to church, and I guess I look friendly, so she wanted to invite me to church, and I said, no, I read the Bible. I said, that's why I don't go to church. And she kind of looked a little taken aback. I said, yeah. I said, no, I don't go to church, but thank you though. She's like, oh, well, I'm a pastor at this church. I was like, oh, first problem. And then she's like, well, I said, yeah, I have like a 200-year-old Bible. And I said, it looks nothing like the Bibles that that they use today. I said, it has all the precepts and all these different things. And, I said, like when we were enslaved and we weren't allowed to read, first, we weren't allowed to read. So if you were caught reading, you'd get beat. But if you got caught reading the Bible, you could just get killed. I said, so that Bible that has all this information in there, I said, yeah, that's the kind of Bible that I read. I said, it's pretty amazing, the stuff that's been hidden. And she kind of like, okay, well, in case you ever want to come to my church, here's my address. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. And then, I was cordial and everything else. I said, but It's just sad that the state that our people are in. They, she's like, "Wow, you have a Bible that's idle? I would love to see it." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." I don't know. I said, "There's a lot of things that you might not agree with, so it is what it is." But let's go ahead and take a look here at Luke 21 and 24. Let me get that real quick here. Luke chapter 21 and 24. Okay. All right. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And that's what we're moving into. The end of the time of the Gentiles is being fulfilled right now. Okay. Now, I want to skip on down here to, well, on that 21 and 24, if you look again, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, again, it's following that whole that whole line going on in Baruch. Fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. That's our people right there. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. That's what's happening right now. Okay, so if the real Hebrews aren't back yet, then it's still the time of the Gentiles. Gentiles are still in control of everything, so therefore it's still their time. Okay, now let's skip on down to 29. And he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees. When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of yourselves, or your own selves, that summer is now nigh at hand. Let me read that again because it's really important. That's what I'm going to end up on right today. And he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees. When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand. Now, the whole thing with summer and winter is very, very important. When we kind of know that summer is coming, it's not necessarily talking about like this specific time of the year. Okay, this is talking about a spiritual thing, a spiritual summer and winter as well. And let me get that because that's actually in my lost books. It's in the third book of Hermas, chapter 3. Okay, third book of Hermas, chapter 3. I'm going to read a little bit of this here to you. Okay, actually, this is chapter 4. Actually, yeah, we're going to read third book of Hermas, chapter 4, verses 1 through 6. Again, he showed me many other trees, of which some had leaves, and others appeared dry and withered. And he said unto me, Seest thou these trees? I answered, Sir, I see them. And some are dry, and others are full of leaves. These trees, saith he, which are green, are the righteous, which shall possess the world to come. For the world to come is the summer to the righteous, but to sinners it is the winter. Okay, so you see that in that part in Luke. The world to come for the righteous is going to be the summer. Okay, but the world to come for the wicked is going to be winter. Okay, let's continue. Verse 3. When therefore the mercy of the Lord shall shine forth, then they who serve the Most High shall be made manifest and plain unto all. For as in the summer the fruit of every tree is shown and made manifest, so also the works of the righteous shall be declared and made manifest, and they shall be restored in that world merry and joyful. For the other nations, kind of men, namely the wicked, like the trees which thou sawest dry, shall as such be found dry and without fruit in that other world. And like dry wood shall be burnt, and it shall be made manifest that they have done evil all the time of their life. And they shall be burnt because they have sinned and have not repented of their sins. And also all the other nations shall be burnt, because they have not acknowledged God their Creator. Do thou therefore bring forth good fruit, that in the summer thy fruit may be known, and keep thyself from much business. Okay, and we're going to leave it right there. All right, so when you're looking at that Luke 21, let me go back to that real quick. 21, and you start with like 29 and 30, where it's talking about, especially at 30, when thou shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand. Okay? Yes, it's going to be summer for the righteous. It's going to be summer for his people. Right now, we've been going through winter, and the other nations have been experiencing their summer. They've been able to enjoy the fruits of their labors this whole time, and we've been suffering our winter. But now, when the whole parable of the fig tree is showing that summer is at hand or is nigh at hand, that means that the manifestation of the righteous is now about to happen. And if you read, when you're listening to that part of there of that I just read to you guys from Hermas, is just talking about how they're going to be hidden all the way until the end. So there's no way that the people that are there, they're not hidden. Everybody knows about the Jewish people and the Israelis, and everybody talks about all the stuff that they've suffered, but no one talks about the stuff that the Hebrews have suffered. They never talks about the Atlantic slave trade. No one talks about the people that were here that were slaughtered and had their lands taken from them and stolen from them. No one talks about how, the real Hebrews have lost their identity. No one cares about that. No one cares to make reparations for them. Okay? So one more thing I actually wanted to read. Isaiah 14 and 1. 1 and 2. Okay? For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. Okay? So that mercy is giving us our knowledge and understanding back in the land of our captivities. You're helping us remember ourselves, giving us an opportunity then to worship the Most High after he gives us a heart of understanding. After all that, after that mercy on Jacob, and he will choose Israel, he will be choosing the people he's going to save. And set them in their own land. Okay? So he's going to be putting them back in their land. Okay? And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Okay? And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. That has not been happening yet over there in the land. Okay? But now, as now you're starting to see that the Most High is now making the people move, and his plan is being manifested to the people, to his chosen seed. The other people seem to think that they understand what's going on and that there's just going to be a war and they're going to just continue on with the same thing that they've been doing over and over again. But the Most High said, no, that's not going to be like that anymore. Okay? I pray that this lesson was enlightening, and that it's beautiful to see that the Most High is awesome. The things that now we couldn't understand before, but now we get a knowledge and understanding now. It's just a beautiful thing. All praises again to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All praises again to the earthly mother, the Holy Spirit. I pray that that they bless us, and they keep us safe, and they keep us growing and learning. Until the next time, shalom.